Hey everyone, welcome back to Awful Stories. It's Matt here, and make sure to drop a like and subscribe to not miss your daily fix on Reddit stories. Let's jump into our first post in the True Off My Chest subreddit, titled, I didn't go to my sister's funeral. She took her life when I started a new one. I've been carrying a lot of mixed emotions lately, and I needed to get this off my chest. In 2022, at 23 years old, I booked a one-way flight to Ireland. After years of working and saving, I found a job abroad and thought it would be a way to break away from my family and hometown after enduring years of abandonment and abuse since childhood. I had gone no contact with my family and was ready to start over. I knew staying in that environment any longer would destroy me. The day I landed, I got the call. My older sister, aged 28, had taken her own life. She had attempted it before, first in high school after running away from home, and again in her early 20s. Her pain was chronic and visible, but no one really saw her. I had warned my family for years that this might happen. I begged them to stop mistreating her, to stop ignoring the emotional distress we were both drowning in. They never listened. We weren't close, not because I didn't care, but because our family dynamics didn't allow space for closeness. We were both just trying to survive. The dysfunction made everything tense, distant, and fragile. Still, she was my sister, and she didn't deserve what she went through. I didn't go to her funeral. I couldn't. I couldn't sit among the same people who made our lives hell, now acting heartbroken. I couldn't watch them cry over her death after showing her so little compassion in our lives. I knew I'd fall apart if I did. People judged me and said I should have gone. I tried to speak up, but I just couldn't save her, and I couldn't go back and pretend for the sake of appearances. Now I'm grieving in silence with guilt, rage, and heartbreak tangled together. I got out, she didn't. That truth haunts me more than anything. 2 years later, I'm still trying to figure it out. OP's post honestly hit me hard. There's so much pain in it, grief, trauma, guilt, all tangled together in a way that feels disturbingly real. I can't even imagine how it must have felt to finally make the move to Ireland, thinking it might be a turning point, only to be crushed by the news of a sister's death right when life was supposed to get lighter. That kind of timing feels almost cruel, like the universe has no sense of mercy. Still, I actually see something incredibly brave in what OP did. Leaving behind years of neglect and abuse isn't running away, it's survival. She made the kind of decision that a lot of people never manage to make for themselves. And even if it doesn't feel like strength right now, it is. Grieving without closure, away from everything familiar, is the kind of loneliness that eats at you slowly. But sharing it, even in fragments, shows a kind of resilience that deserves recognition. The saddest part to me is that she escaped, but her sister didn't. That's the kind of guilt that doesn't fade overnight, and it shouldn't have to. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means learning to carry it differently. And if she takes years to do that, so be it. She's earned that time. The second story for today takes place in the relationship subreddit, titled, Has anyone actually made a relationship work with such a huge sex drive mismatch? I'm a 22-year-old woman and have been with my boyfriend, who is 20, for about 1.5 years. In the beginning, our sex life was pretty good. It was fairly frequent and mutual, but over time, it has dropped off drastically to the point where I feel like I'm almost celibate. For months, I was the only one initiating sex. Around 80% of the time, I'd get rejected, and he rarely initiated himself. It got to a point where we were having sex probably once every 2 weeks, even though we live 5 minutes apart and spend the night together 3 to 4 times a week. I brought up how much this was bothering me, and his response was that his sex drive is very low, and it's nothing to do with me. I asked him if there's anything I can do to turn him on more, or if there's anything new we can try. Basically, if we can do anything to make things more exciting, and he said he didn't think so. So it feels like there's nothing I can do. The solution we agreed on was for me to stop initiating and pull back sexually, and he'll initiate if he's in the mood. Since then, we've had sex once in a month. The problem is, my sex drive is really high. I want sex often, and when I'm turned on around him, I feel like I can't do anything about it. When we do have sex, most of the time it's short, and I rarely finish, so I just feel so sexually frustrated. I don't want to be insecure, but it is affecting my confidence in the relationship. It just feels like he has no sexual attraction to me anymore. I've sent him nudes before, and his response has been things like just cute, which makes me feel like he's not even turned on by me. So I've stopped sending him nudes as well. Because we used to have a good sex life in the beginning, I can't stop wondering what's changed. It makes me feel like it must be about me, even though he insists it isn't. He once told me that sex with his ex felt like a chore, and now he says his drive is the lowest it's ever been. So I can't help but worry that sex with me feels like a chore too. He also used to watch porn and says he doesn't anymore. But honestly, I don't know if I believe him. It really hurts knowing he seemed to get turned on by porn, or at least used to, but not by me. When I try to talk about this, he says that when I get upset over it, it makes him want sex even less. The last time I brought it up, he straight up said he was bored of the conversation and shut it down. This is a pretty big issue for me and is causing a lot of sexual frustration and overthinking on my end. And it feels like he doesn't even want to try to fix it or find a halfway happy solution. I'm left feeling like my needs don't even matter, which just adds to the frustration. If he's not in the mood, we do nothing. He doesn't help me finish anymore, and there's no alternative intimacy, and I'm just left sexually frustrated. Outside of sex, he's really affectionate and loving, and our relationship otherwise feels good. That's what makes this so confusing. I love him so much and I know he loves me, but I feel like I'm sacrificing my entire sex life, and the last thing I want is to make him feel pressured. Any advice would be appreciated. LCDR format said, that would be the end for me. Anyone who's bored by a conversation about how hurt I feel is not someone I want to be with. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on. But if a 20-year-old man went from having a healthy sex drive to no interest, something is deeply wrong. It could be cheating, pornography, or straight up health issues. I don't trust the whole situation. Tricky had said, trust me, it never gets better. I've been in a 7-year relationship with a low libido partner. She's also very vanilla in bed, whereas I'm adventurous. You either accept it or break up. This third and final story is titled, I saw my 27-year-old niece in a porn video in the True Off My Chest subreddit. I was traveling for work and thought I'd look for some spicy entertainment online. I clicked on one video and thought, she looks familiar. Then, Jesus Christ, it's her. Her makeup was different, and based on her hair, it's a couple of years old, but it was definitely her. I saw her arm tattoo, with 4 older guys. I'm not going to say a word to her or anyone, but it was definitely a shock, especially considering her devoutly religious upbringing. Edit. The moment I recognized her was a total boner killer. I'm also not going to say a word to anyone ever. Okay, this is the funniest post I've come across in a while. The way OP had a wait, what did I just stumble upon kind of way. You're innocently scrolling through some spicy entertainment, and then bam, there she is. The girl from church or family gatherings, all grown up and starring in a video with 4 older guys. Talk about a plot twist. And yep, that moment of recognition, the ultimate boner killer. And OP deciding to keep quiet about it, definitely the smartest move. Some things are best left as quiet secrets. Because honestly, I don't think OP needs that drama.